One of the things we found from the survey that was really interesting and also concerning was that people really aren't meeting their investment goals by quite a bit. So for example, baby boomers who are closest to retirement or in retirement actually have saved less than half of what their goal is. And that's really concerning.
So that sounds like insurance companies and pension managers and states with retirement plans. Nobody is hitting their goals with a 2% 10-year.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is one of the difficulties as well. We also found that their asset allocations are way too low to growth assets. So, for example, baby boomers have more money allocated to cash than they do to equities. So they have on average 30%, and we all know what we're getting out of money markets, it's close to zero. Inflation, call it 2%.
From the financial
they're
crisis.
losing money.
But they're young. They can ride things. No, they ought to be buying. Over time, stocks outperform everything else.
But do you get into stocks now? If you're under-allocated to
Not if
stocks,
they listen to you in May of last year.
My clients are doing just fine.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Well,
but
it's
if you're
20% since May.
If you're a baby boomer now,
yeah,
and you're saying, okay, I don't have enough money to retire, do you put money into the equity market now at your age, given your goals?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a hard call.
Let me use my mother as an example. She's 78, and God willing, she'll live as long as my grandmother, who died at 95. So she still has a long way to go. And the thing is, if she doesn't invest in growth assets, if she has too much money in cash, and we all get the calls from our relatives. As soon as there's a little market gyration, or you see sort of some type of negative geopolitical news, like we see with North Korea, and people become concerned, I get that call from my mother. Oh, I'm really nervous. I'm not going to have enough time to recover. Should I put stuff in cash? And I've been able to convince her to keep in the market, compared to many of her friends who haven't. And the result is just the difference is stark. It's so hard to time the equity markets.
Absolutely.
You have to be invested.
Absolutely.
But there's some rules you should follow as well, of course.
But they're going to be in to hold the bag. The millennials will finally get into the stock market like when it peaks.
Well, that's one of the interesting things we did find from millennials as well, is that they really have underinvested in equities. Because, I mean, you think about the type of situation they were presented with. They were presented with their parents and grandparents during the financial crisis, losing a lot of money, some of them losing their jobs. And that was really, I think, dramatic for them. So they have not been investing much. But what we did find from this survey was that this is the year that they all of a sudden want to increase risk dramatically. And they might be buying at the top. And the problem being is if they have a bad experience, they might be out for another 20 years.
And it might be one of the reasons this equity market has run as far as it has and may continue, because people were so scarred by 08, 09.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. You've seen more than double the amount of money going into fixed income and credit that you've seen going into equities cumulatively since 2008. Equity market is completely underowned, which is your point.
Yes, exactly. And also, I mean, if they stay in cash, think about it. Baby boomers have on average 30% cash, 24% equities. They need to really invest in equities. Now, of course, they should manage their downside risk and really, take some of the best principles of asset allocation. They should diversify. U.S. has had a great run. Time to maybe put a little more money in international markets and emerging markets as well, because you don't know where the return's going to come from. And you need to diversify that for the growth, but also to manage the volatility.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.